All right, welcome in. Pro Football Today, our final hour before kickoff here on SportsGrid. Coverage continues, though, throughout this NFL Sunday. To help us get a little more information, though, it's NFL insider Adam Caplan. And, Cap, we start with a unique one. I know you've been covering this league a long time. I'm not sure how many situations you've seen like the one in Carolina. Bryce Young benched after 2 weeks of football. What are you hearing around everything going on in Charlotte?
Yeah, Kevin, I would put it to you this way, and we could also go a little bit further, but when it's obvious, you have to do something. I know it's early. It's unprecedented after 2 games. It's ridiculous. But understand, Bryce Young, I mean, guys are running wide open, and he doesn't throw the football. And as a coach from another team told me, you could lose the locker room. The players know when the quarterback can't function high enough just to get rid of the football out of his hands on time, you're just, if you keep playing them, you risk losing the locker room, and this had to happen. It is surprising. The timing is surprising. This is 27 years I've covered this business. I don't remember it this early. And Andy Dalton, by the way, is a really good fill-in quarterback. And the reason why you do it, Kevin, also is you get Bryce Young to settle down, see it from being on the sideline, see how Dalton approaches his job, see the timing of the offense, see that Dave Canales runs a West Coast offense. We have to understand that Bryce Young, Kevin, had to learn a new offense. He's got a new coaching staff. Frank Reich, the former head coach, was fired in season. It was his scheme. He called the plays. He's no longer there. So he's had to learn this new offense, and it's been really hard for him. It's going to take him some time. So he gets that overview to see how it's done. And you watch, they're going to be way more competitive offensively because the thing is, guys, there's way more talent on the offense than they had last year. Deontay Johnson, who they acquired in the trade with the Steelers. Xavier Legette, the first-round pick. They've got enough there. Now, they don't have their second-round running back from Texas, but there's enough in the pass game to get the job done with Andy Dalton.
Adam, taking a look from Philadelphia, I know you always have your ear to the ground there. Just a devastating loss on Monday Night Football. The play calling at the end, who called the plays, who's overrided that, and also the defensive line getting zero pressure. Talk to us about what what you heard from the Philadelphia Eagles game on Monday, and now going to play a hot New Orleans team this weekend.
All right, let's start with the offense. First of all, look, if Saquon Barkley, Donnie, catches the football, we're not talking about why the Eagles lost the game. I know the fans here in Philly wanted them to run the football. And that's fine. You have access to the results. Once the play is over, oh, yeah, they should have run the football. Oh, that's fine. The ball's right in his hands. Now, Donnie, Jalen Hurts struggled in that game. He's got a very bad habit of rolling to his right without pressure. What happens is, as soon as he rolls, the first progression is dead. Like, wherever the ball is supposed to be, Dallas Goedert, particularly over the middle, he doesn't get the football. This happened last year. So Hurts has got to play better. He's not playing good football. We know he had a down year last year after 2 years ago being phenomenal. So that's a problem defensively. You know, they've got the real Vic Fangio calling their defense, right? They ran his scheme before he got there. Now he does things a little differently. Bryce Huff, who they're paying $17 million a year, $34 million fully guaranteed over 2 seasons, has been a non-factor. He's had his snaps reduced a little bit. Now he's still starting, but he didn't really perform in training camp, so he's given up some of his snaps. Their edge rushers don't have a sack. Their run defense is the worst in the National Football League. So again, you know, you guys are asking me who I like today. Why would anyone think the Eagles could win this game? I get it. It's the NFL. Strange things happen. But they're not doing well offensively. They don't have A.J. Brown today. By the way, Marshawn Lattimore's back at corner for the Saints. You have to worry about how the Eagles are going to move the football. And they've got to get Dallas Goedert the football. He's a chain mover. Okay, that's a guy who can move the football. Barkley in the passing game, that would help them. But overall, guys, you're right, Donnie, as you set that up. That was an awful loss, a game that the Eagles won't forget because they should have won that one. It was right in their hands, literally.
Let's stay in Pennsylvania, Cap, in regards to Pittsburgh. They're 2-0. They grind out another win. They have L.A. today. Assuming that Justin Fields gets the victory, and let's just say he plays well but doesn't put up huge numbers, what's the situation in regards to Russell Wilson? Does Tomlin go to Wilson, or does he in fact stay with Fields because they'd be undefeated?
No, you don't. When a quarterback doesn't lose a game, you don't change the quarterback. So it'll be Justin Fields. It's more of a week-to-week thing, Joe, though, because look, you nailed it. They have to have a passing game. Unfortunately, Roman Wilson, the rookie receiver out of Michigan, you know, he had, as I reported, 6 weeks ago, he has a high ankle sprain. He was close. I'm a little surprised he didn't play today. So, folks, this is a ground and pound game. Both head coaches want to run the football, And let's not forget, Justin Herbert's playing with a right high ankle sprain. That does concern me. Had he not had that injury, which, by the way, he revealed late in the week to reporters, I would have loved the Chargers today. But this game, this is about running the football, not turning it over. This is going to be smash mouth 1980s football today in Pittsburgh.
You know, Cap, I want to ask you about an odd situation. I don't know if developing is the right word, but with the LA Rams this year, expectations were after making the postseason last year, they could improve on that. They lose in overtime to the Detroit Lions, and all of a sudden it starts to spiral. You lose one game, it's okay. But now you're 0-1. Next week, we just lost to the Cardinals. You pick your head up. Your whole offensive line's down. Your whole secondary's down. And your top 2 wide receivers are out. And now you're near touchdown dog against the 49ers. And out of nowhere, not because the roster has no pieces, but all the good ones seem to be injured, you have Stafford out there in a little bit of no man's land. It's early. It's chatter, I know, Cap, but is there any world the LA Rams could listen to offers on Matthew Stafford from a contending football team if their season is over due to these injuries that are hitting them hard?
No, we'd have to. The first thing you have to do, Kevin, is look at the contract. Remember, he had it adjusted before the season started, so you have to look at the salary cap ramifications before even considering it. Now, that aside, yeah, if they're at the trade deadline, they're 1-9. That changes everything. But again, you got to look at the contract first and see what kind of salary cap hit they would take. Now, I would tell you, you're right. They're down 3 starting offensive linemen, 2 players in the secondary. They could be actually down more depending on how pregame warmups go for a couple of their injured players. So they're in a tough way. But it's so early, Kevin. It's like in Tennessee, right? Everybody wants to run Will Levis out. Now he's going to get his chance. But Mason Rudolph, who beat out Malik Willis. I was there with the Titans for 2 days. I mean, Mason Rudolph could play. He could actually start for a couple teams. Man, he's not a bad quarterback. Will Levis has got to play better football. That's a situation to watch in Tennessee. There's been some really bad quarterback play, by the way, so far.
Yeah, quarterback play certainly needs to be much improved here, and that's a perfect segue for me to look at New England. You saw Thursday night. They were competitive for the first 2 games, not competitive against the Jets. Jacoby Brissett out of that game. You saw the young kid try to get in Drake May late, leads him on a drive, doesn't end up in a score, time runs out. Are we going to see more Drake May over the next couple weeks, or is that just a product of the environment where that game was over, they just wanted to get the young kid some reps?
Yeah, it was more the latter. There was you nailed it because it was an opportunity to put him in there, get his feet wet, so to speak. You know, by the way, Drake May, the final 2 weeks of training camp was phenomenal, where he struggled a lot before that. See, they're very careful because they know he's really raw, needs a lot of development. They don't want to rush this because, Donnie, the worst thing you can do is put the guy in before he's ready. But they're not ruling it out that he'll take over in the next 2 weeks. But they're very careful with it. They have a pretty young roster at the receiver position. They don't really have a true number 1 receiver. I think that also complicates the situation. You know, but overall, look, their defense is going to keep them in games. They're going to be more of a run-based offense. That's what Alex Van Pelt, the offense coordinator, wants to do. He actually kind of made that pretty clear when he took over the job leaving from Cleveland. So that's a situation to watch. It is really interesting, the quarterback carousel. We may have a bunch of changes by midseason, guys. I'm not ruling anything out at this point.
It's going to be really interesting to watch here, and at some point, I am sure the Giants will end up on that quarterback carousel as well with Daniel Jones. Cap, we appreciate it. As always, best of luck following all the information here on a Sunday.
Thank you.
All right, that's Adam, NFL insider there, Adam Caplan, helping us here. Get ready. And, he makes the point with the quarterbacks, and I think you're going to get an elevated amount of questions due to the down play we're seeing this year across the league. Obviously, you have your guys that are safe. We know them well. Mahomes, Dak, C.J. Stroud, Pate, we got that. But there's a lot of situations out there that could flip on a dime. There's also a lot of injury situations out there. We're having the Pro Football Doc, Dr. David Chao, help us with those next.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
It's a new era in CFB to start off this year, put on full display.
My take on this game is simple. I know some people will be upset about it. Good riddance to the Pac-12.
Can you do it in terms of the week to week to week?
I don't see a pathway for this team to miss the college football playoffs.
We want to make sure you have those best bets in the entirety of our betting cards. That was thinking! But he had that program was already going there!
Only on SportsGrid.
The sharpest football contest show in the land, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, focuses on Circus Sports Million, Circus Survivor, and the Westgate Super Contest, handicapping the games and releasing our contest picks every week of the season. With two former Super Contest winners, Brady Cannon and James Salinas, a former NFL player, Mike Pritchard, and over $1 million in contest prize money won combined, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show will have you prepared this season like none other.
Live right here, it is Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. We're now joined by the Pro Football Doc, Dr. David Chao. He and the guys over at SixScore.com helping us and you adjust through all of the injury news, the best injury analysis, up to date, always giving the in-game updates as well. Doc, we appreciate you making some time here on a very busy Sunday morning.
Oh, always fun to chat with you guys. Appreciate you guys.
Doc, let's get to an interesting one out in Vegas where, I don't know if Six Score does a little bump now that Bryce Young hits the bench, but I know that we have a very injured Carolina team, and they do not grade favorably by you guys heading into this game against Vegas. A 10-point, if I can call it a point gap here between Vegas and Carolina. What are you seeing here, Doc?
Look, guys, we just deal in health and injuries. Which side is healthier? Which side is more injured? Like in terms of the scheme and news, we let guys like you and the fans and the public judge what Andy Dalton's effect is. Better, worse, whatever it is versus Bryce Young. But we can tell you that arguably the three best defenders for the Carolina Panthers, one at each level, Derek Brown, the linebacker in the corner, are out. And that's significant. Can Andy Dalton rally them? I mean, that's a different question, but we just go by injuries to help you do the handicapping.
Let me ask you quickly, Doc, before I get off of this game here. Jonathan Brooks, the rookie drafted out of Texas. Carolina, no matter who's behind center, is going to be looking for offensive guys to step up. They're hoping that can be Jonathan Brooks, who's currently on IR. How are you guys viewing his outlook when he returns for Carolina?
Well, in the preseason injury preview, we had a very low six score for him. We expected the injured reserve. Look, coming off an ACL is hard enough, but he's being asked to jump a level of play from college to the NFL. We're not expecting a lot. Maybe there's a boost second half, late season, but we're not expecting a lot from him this year.
Doc, let's take a look at the Giants and the Cleveland Browns. Are going to square it up today, about a touchdown favorite here for the Browns. You take a look at David Njoku out again with an ankle injury. Talk to us about this Cleveland Browns offense, still obviously hurting at the running back position, but also at the tight end position now.
Yeah, we know that the tight end's going to be out. The key is at the tackles, right? Jack Conklin's down again, but they do get Jedrick Wills back for the first time this year. Week 1 against the Cowboys, Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence destroyed him because of the offensive line issues, and Deshaun Watson had no time. Will he have time today? Brian Burns is playing, but it is hard to play with a groin issue as an edge rusher.
How about Myles Garrett on the defensive side here for the Cleveland Browns? A little bit banged up. Looks like he's going to give it a go. Any problems with him going today?
Well, it's an undisclosed injury, but it's to both feet. Literally, he doesn't have a good foot to stand on there. So can he get around the edge is going to be a big question. I think that's where the game's going to be won and lost. How effective is Brian Burns with his groin, which is hard to play through, versus Myles Garrett with both feet injured?
Let's look at the game in Indianapolis, Colts and Bears. Caleb Williams on the road in terms of back-to-back matchups. He might have Keenan Allen back for this game, Doc?
No, Keenan's out for this game, but Adunze's back for a second week in a row. And if you really look, the key there, besides the number one corner for the Colts, you guys are showing the field view. Two key D linemen are out. Obviously, Ebicom from earlier, but DeForest Buckner is huge there. So we think that's going to really help Caleb Williams. Why? Because DeAndre Swift can have a good game running the ball. And when you have balance, this is where the numbers favor Chicago.
Now, the Colts had some injuries in regards to the secondary. Any potential for some of those starters to get healthy?
Well, the number one corner is out this week here, but like I said, when the two D linemen, the biggest pass rusher, the biggest run stopper on your D line are out, that's the big deal for the Colts. And is Anthony Richardson going to be able to chase? We see that Chicago being able to move the ball early.
Doc, let me ask you about the game between the Rams and the Niners here. I mean, I imagine this has been the game for you guys in the room all week. I know there's just loads of people out. So, as far as today goes, it's going to be tricky trying to figure out who steps up. But what's the outlook, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, Cooper Kupp? I mean, it's just so many key stars.
No question. We've nicknamed this the Injury Bowl. Maybe Sports Injury Central should sponsor that game, right? I mean, both teams, both sides of the ball, basically every fantasy player, Puka, Cooper Kupp will come back before Puka. Kyron Williams, last man standing. The Rams don't even have their tight end there. Their left side of the Rams offensive line is all injured, including the center. Alaric Jackson comes back off of his suspension, but he came into the season with a high ankle sprain, so we'll have to see if that shores them up any. And the 49ers, Debo, CMC, Kittle. I mean, Ayuk, here's his chance to earn his money, I guess, and Brock Purdy. So they're definitely decimated there. The backup running back obviously has done well, Jordan Mason, so far, but can he keep it rolling a third game in a row?
Doc, me looking at six score, you know that I'm like a kid. I love the colors. It works for me. That game's yellow on yellow. The only other yellow game we have, Seattle-Miami, which does remind me to ask you, and again, I know you talk about it a lot, but Tua Tagovailoa ends up on IR. Surprised? Does it mean anything long-term? What was your takeaway from that decision by Miami?
Expected. We downgraded Tua going into last year and this season. I don't care about the jiu-jitsu training. It's still the collision sport of football. And we also knew the next concussion wasn't going to be a 1 week absence. It was going to be minimum 1 month. I know a lot of people are talking career. Tua says he wants to come back. This 1 month was expected. Now, there's no question that Seattle's a healthier team on the sixth quarter. But one thing I would caution your viewers on is double counting. See, we love it when there's an injury advantage on the cluster injury or unseen injuries. But the whole world knows Tua's out. And yes, Miami's sixth score is lower because of it, but that might have been accounted for in the line. So interpret that, look at the field views yourself.
Yeah, and again, sixscore.com, all of the information that you need, absolutely so valuable. Doc, we appreciate you making some time for us here on a Sunday. Best of luck keeping up with all the information that'll be coming by.
Yeah, we're 10-3 last week and 3-0 on props last week.
Whoa!
We already took the Jets this week, so hopefully we can repeat a hot.
All right, stay hot over there at sixscore.com. Sell me something. It's up next.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event The atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
It's a new era in CFP to start off this year, put on full display.
My take on this game is simple. I know some people will be upset about it. Good riddance to the Pac-12.
Can you do it in terms of a week to week to week?
I don't see a pathway for this team to miss the college football playoffs.
We want to make sure you have those best bets in the entirety of our betting cards. That was thinking! But he had that program was already going there!
Only on SportsGrid.
The sharpest football contest show in the land, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, focuses on Circa Sports Million, Circa Survivor, and the Westgate Super Contest, handicapping the games and releasing our contest picks every week of the season. With two former Super Contest winners, Brady Cannon and James Salinas, a former NFL player, Mike Pritchard, and over $1 million in contest prize money won combined, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show will have you prepared this season like none other.
All right, let's get into it here now. It's pro football today. It's time for a little sell me something.
Have we won any of the, has anybody won one?
I'm 0-2. I know.
I'm 0-2 too. Yeah.
So that's it. There you go.
By the way, we laughed last week. The Fields one was like, that's such an easy one. He doesn't even get. I'm like, man, this.
He
is,
did
this
have a
is
big
exactly
play
what
call
it is.
back with a PI, holding call.
That is true.
Yeah.
Also, he finished about 120 yards when we were saying
Well, if you got, I mean, it was 13-3. I mean, you know, if Denver's offense gave him nothing to work with.
Well, like,
They didn't push him.
Yeah, but why do you keep acting like Fields' PR rep?
Yep,
like, you won the bet that he was going to get the job, even though he didn't win the job.
Keep pressing it down every week.
I'm just saying, like, what? Like, what's the?
What?
Why are you defending him? Like, he's throwing.
I
for
could say this. You want me to
yards.
go off rundown? You're still banging the drum on the Caleb Jaden Daniels Heisman. Still.
Oh wow.
Well, I know
and
that.
Milroe and everything.
No,
there
I
he
didn't
is.
mention Milroe.
Here he is. He's loving it. Here he is. Stir the pot. You're still banging the drum. I mean, we're still talking about it years later. Years later.
Again, that being your attempt
no, my
to,
point
like,
is this.
I'll
I'll just end it with this. I believe Justin Fields. He's not setting the world on fire.
Certainly
not.
But
he's a winner, and he's actually winning games. He won 2 road games. He wins.
Did he have a winning record? Yeah. No.
Oh, come on.
I mean, what are we talking about?
Come on. I mean, here's the thing. You want to make the argument? The Bears' offense look better with Fields than it does with Caleb right now.
It does?
All right? Again, let me see you come back from that.
Ooh.
I mean,
you're throwing him life.
Tongue-tied. You can't even.
Week number 1.
93 yards. 93 yards.
Yeah, that was week 1, and they won the game, Mr. Winner.
Oh, so now that matters for Caleb. It doesn't matter for Justin.
Justin Fields has a losing record in his career.
Because of
obviously.
Yes, because of Eberflus, and we'll see what he does with Caleb.
I'm just saying, like, he does not throw the foot. He has 273 yards in 2 games.
But yes.
You're like, the guys in the locker room are going to galvanize around him today.
Big
if
play.
He can get through
get
the
over the
162 and a
I
half.
tell you what, I hope he
High
throws.
fives.
I hope he throws for 300 today, sliced and diced.
Yeah,
I need to see
know
the
you
ticket.
do.
Put the ticket on there.
I know you hope that happens, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen.
This segment now makes him like the Steelers even more today.
Could he
It's
play
crazy.
for McVay?
It's going to be crazy.
If he played for McVay, there's no doubt he'd put up.
He could play for
numbers.
Sharon Moore. Come on now.
Well, I mean,
If he played
yeah. Well, McVay resurrected
give it
Mayfield's
up.
career, didn't he?
He what?
He resurrected.
No,
resurrected his.
No.
Come
Handle
on.
He likes it even more now. He likes it
Resurrected
even
in the
more.
Rams. Mayfield went on.
Resurrected Baker's career.
Yeah.
Where are you?
When Baker
That one
went from
short work
Carolina
week,
to the
short
Rams,
work
and then
week, looked impressive.
now
Yeah.
he's a winner. That's
Rehab. He went to rehab
He
out
gets the
there.
credit for
it.
that?
Yeah.
Oh,
You
wow.
gonna give it to Todd Bowles?
Wasn't it like a Christmas Day special where Baker Mayfield was just blowing up out there one day?
Baker's made me money. There you go.
Okay.
And so was Fields.
Who's going to make you money today? Tell me something.
It's unfortunate, but, I hope this guy, Skylar Thompson, breaks out in a big way. You can't go into this ball game complacent, running the football. You need to open it up. I mean, this number is so low. 192.5 for Skylar Thompson. And 194.5. I mean, it's ridiculous. You have Tyreek, you have Waddle. Again, New England put up 20 points on this defense. You're telling me that Miami can't open it up? Come on, that's nothing. If they run HN in this matchup, no way.
Now, why would they not run Achane in this matchup? That would be the pathway to victory.
Why-
Protect
why-
the young quarterback
Again,
12s
you
on
act
the road.
like you don't do this to yourself. Call
My
Can I
goodness.
just quickly
Go
bring
ahead,
up New
go ahead.
England?
I'll sit back.
In that
Let me
game,
just sit
Jacoby
back.
Brissett throws for $149.
Yeah.
New England on the ground runs for 185.
Yeah.
And you bring
No,
up the New
and
England game to bet Skylar
Yep.
over the number.
But again,
Cookie cutter,
If
kitchen
Devon
sink.
Achane runs the
Denver
football,
rushed for
they're in trouble
99
today.
yards on Seattle week 1. They ran for 4 yards a carry. They're not going to run the football on the road here. I'm telling you, they're not. They're going to have to open it up. They're going to have to throw the football to run the football. You're not going to just line it up with Skylar Thompson and run HN left and right. They're not going to do it today.
Right.
So the translation here is that they
Over.
waited for Tua to get out to finally unleash that playbook on the road with Skylar Thompson. We're ready for. Look, I'm not saying he
What do you
can't
mean
get there.
unleash the playbook? I mean, I think
Come on,
game
Donnie. Unleash
flow.
the playbook today.
Look, I'm going to unleash. Here's the playbook
am.
right now. You ready for this one
Go
here? We're going to go same game here. You have to be unpredictable in this game, and it doesn't mean up-tempo and throw the ball around. Get your playmakers involved, which means running the football. Both Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill have each 1 yard rushing
Wildcat.
today, plus 350.
Wildcat. That
Ronnie Brown?
we're going to take that
Ronnie
both.
Brown?
Ronnie Brown. There you go.
Plus
Wildcat.
350.
Who's Cadillac? Who's the
My
other
bet's
running back?
plus
Ronnie Brown,
350 as well. Well, I mean,
Kenny
listen,
Iron.
you guys already
No.
got in trouble for talking old Dolphins.
No,
Let me get Caleb Williams and Anthony Richardson to combine for 500 passing yards
Whoa.
at plus 350. Open it up in Indianapolis, baby. The Indy 500's on. We're back with the whip around.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the game starts so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
It's a new era in CFB to start off this year, put on full display.
My take on this game is simple. I know some people will be upset about it. Good riddance to the Pac-12.
Can you do it in terms of the week to week to week?
I don't see a pathway for this team to miss the college football playoffs.
We want to make sure you have those best bets in the entirety of our betting cards. That was thinking! But he had that program was already going there!
Only on SportsGrid.
The sharpest football contest show in the land, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, focuses on Circa Sports Million, Circa Survivor, and the Westgate Super Contest, handicapping the games and releasing our contest picks every week of the season. With two former Super Contest winners, Brady Cannon and James Salinas, a former NFL player, Mike Pritchard, and over $1 million in contest prize money won combined, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show will have you prepared this season like none other.
Wraparound time. It's pro football today. Kevin Walsh, Donnie Rightside, Joe Lisi. We're going through all the NFL slate here on a Sunday. We begin in Cleveland, a 6.5-point spread. Total is at 38.5. Another week I have successfully not bet on Daniel Jones. If I was betting the side here, I would only look towards Cleveland. Their defense did impress me last week against the Jacksonville Jaguars. If the Giants move the football here, it'll probably still be blown up by their terrible quarterback, Daniel Jones, even though I would lean towards the over if I had to play it.
See, now I like the over as the best play in terms of this matchup, down from 40.5 to 38.5. Back-to-back road games for the Giants. That's a cause of concern, but this would be, Donnie, the one spot where I would take the points with New York. A lot of people on them last week against their dominance with Washington. Now back on the road. Again, I think they throw it a little bit more than they run it. Look for, obviously, Neighbors to step up. But, again, I'm going to go back to Wan'Dale Robinson, 29.5. They got him involved a little bit late last week. Look for him to eat. I'm taking the points.
Yeah, here's what I'm going to do. I'm making a phone call right now. Mr. Dable, hey, did you bring a kicker today? Oh, you did? Yeah, we're going to take the Giants today because they're going to have a kicker. They're going to be competent. I don't trust the Browns here. Give me the 6.5.
Wow, see?
I like the Browns even more.
Thank you, Brian Dable.
Browns becoming a mega
Mega slam play for you.
Let's do a little Colts Bears here again. My sell me something got a little cut off because, well, it's all right. Plus 350, though. I think this game opens up here. The total, I should, if I would have bet it earlier in the week, we would have been there. It's all right. I still lean towards the over in this game. I think the offenses both have too much talent. These quarterbacks will find a rhythm. 500-plus passing yards is plus 350. It's in a specials tab on DK labeled the future, Lisi.
Well, maybe you could see the future. Maybe you can. I'll root it in for you, but I am on the Indianapolis Colts to win this game. I am. I have no interest in the total whatsoever. If you get over the 43.5, God bless you. I'm on the Colts. I think they're the better team playing at home, better coach, in my opinion, than Eberflus. And, again, I think it's the rushing attack. Jonathan Taylor, that offensive line, I think take over. I'm just not sold, Donnie, on the offensive philosophy and identity right now with Caleb. Until I see it, I can't believe it.
Like, if we watch this game in person, you got 498 yards. Is somebody screaming run the football late in the game?
Probably.
Somebody would be screaming at this point here, trying to get that over 500. Now, as I like to say, both those quarterbacks I do think can get to 250 yards. The 500, could be maybe in the balance at that point. But for my money, I'm with Joe. I think the Indianapolis Colts are a better team here. Rookie is on the road. That offense has been terrible. If they break out today, so be it. I'm going to be back in the Colts in this game today.
Vikings-Texans, 1.5-point home dog here for Minnesota. Total 46.5. I lean towards Houston, but I'm on Stephon Diggs over 46.5 receiving yards. Little buy low spot with Diggs. Still getting into rhythm with C.J. Stroud. More passing opportunities with Joe Mixon out in this game. I think Stephon Diggs back in Minnesota, the return angle that I've been banking on all week, gets over that 46.5, Joe.
I like Houston. I like Dalton Schultz to step up. He's got a low number today, 26.5. Also like him to score a touchdown. Keep an eye out for Cam Akers. Cheap number, 57.5. I know the front seven's been very good for Minnesota, but I just think the more complete team with the better weapons happens to be the Texans. I know they played close to the vest in terms of back-to-back games. They break out, make a statement. Do like the total from an in-game perspective, guys, if it gets into the low 40s, but not here.
Yeah, the Texans. Show me you're all growed up, as we like to say, right? Go on the road and win this football game. But also, if we are looking from the Minnesota side of things, if Justin Jefferson has a breakout game once again, sometimes there's nothing you can do. But Stingley in that secondary, if they can slow him down, and I don't mean 3 catches for 19 yards. Let's just say 5 catches for 75 yards and a touchdown, which is a very good game for a wideout. You're just not letting him go. I think the Texans can win this game. And also, growing up on the road, 46.5 points. You're down to your third-string running back. Show me, CJ. Show me what you got today.
All right, all eyes on C.J. Stroud trying to make a dent on the Patrick Mahomes MVP favorite price, who's in action Sunday night. Saints-Eagles, 2.5-point number. Pop the 3. Come on! Where's all that Saints money I've been hearing about? I like the Eagles in this game. I actually think they're going to Saquon Barkley steps up in a major way.
Alt it down to 1.5 and show them that.
Come best bet Eagles minus 6.5.
Save the juice.
It was 3.5. It was 3. No, I like the Eagles.
Skip him. No, you don't. Skip him. Skip him.
I like the Eagles in a bounce back spot.
No.
Yes, I do think you get a heavy dose of Saquon today on the rushing attack. Also catching the football. I know he dropped the pass on the goal line. They go back to him in a big way. I don't like the total. I lean to the under. That's a lot of points, but I do believe the Eagles will bounce back on the road in the Bayou.
It would be an incredible victory faced off a short week, and you got hammered on Monday from a coaching staff perspective because apparently you didn't know how to close the game out, and they didn't. But also, I do look for a big game for Saquon Barkley. I love his touchdown today. I think he gets in the end zone. I think that makes a lot of sense. But look, I'm a big Eagles fan. Like, I do have an Eagles shirt under my suit here today that you guys can't see at this point. But I think they win. I don't think they win.
I think he got like a Spider-Man Eagles.
It's here somewhere. It's here somewhere.
The rest of the breakdown because you were so proud of that. That was your best one with the.
I don't think they can win. I don't think my birds can win.
All right, let's make it. I might just pay up, get to 3 minus 123.
Go down. Take it.
Skip them. Chargers, Steelers, 35.5 is the over/under in this game. I can't believe that I can't get a field goal with L.A. I mean,
will you stop?
It's unbelievable here. With the injured quarterback room, they're still keeping this thing where it is. I would look Chargers. This is a Mike Tomlin overlooked spot.
Wow.
It's just not a good spot for him. Harbaugh gets the boys ripping and rolling.
I think it's the defense. It is the secondary right now. They're playing well for the Steelers, but I go back to Justin Fields and that team right now. They're confident. They know they can win. They're coming off 2 road wins. Now they're playing home, opening it up. Give me the Steelers here. And again, we talk MVPs. If somehow, some way, this team wins the division, we talking Justin Fields for MVP? What do you think?
No.
Why not?
No.
No?
He's throwing for 135 yards.
Doesn't matter.
They'll probably be benched next week, too,
winner.
by the way.
No.
I see. I just I can't do that.
None of that. None of that. By the way, I do agree in the sentiment that the Steelers, I would lay the 2.5, but it would be completely different. If Herbert never got injured last week and is playing in this game, I would love the 2.5 points. Now, also, is that baked into the line more? Because I don't seem like it is. Herbert healthy or not, I don't think that's making an impact on this.
That's kind of what I think is really interesting, where we're trying to still figure out how much we buy these teams. What I was rooting in from a betting perspective was just going to be Herbert out, line shoots up over the field goal, and this is this low-scoring, ugly game that stays inside that number. We just didn't get it. It's going to be a really, really
ugly
interesting thing to watch play out. That Herbert 181.5. We'll see how that plays out here. Let's keep these 1 o'clocks going. Tampa, Denver. I'm on over 40.5 here. I think the Bucs defense remains vulnerable with all of their key guys out in Antoine Winfield and Vita Vea. I do not trust that Denver defense no matter how good Pat Surtain is. Baker Mayfield, for my money, 2 weeks in, would be the league MVP. I know it's only 2 weeks, but no reason he stops going here against Denver. I'm on Rachaad White anytime touchdown.
I think this game is a little bit closer. I'm inclined to take the points with the Broncos on the road. They're 0-2. I think they run the football a little bit more consistently, get it into the fourth quarter. Tampa Bay might win, but I think Denver does cover the number. I lean to the under, but I don't love it. I like Rachaad White in regards to his receiving yards today, Donnie.
Yeah, I look at that team for the Denver Broncos and say, this isn't their year. You're supposed to find out what you have in your quarterback, and maybe they'll do that with Knicks. But again, a rookie quarterback going on the road against Baker Mayfield and a very good Tampa Bay team right now, I just don't think it stacks up. It's that simple adage. If I don't think Denver can win this game, and I can't take them with the plus 5.5 points, but I do have more of a lean on the under 40.5, but probably a stay-away game for me overall.
Titans-Packers, this is a field goal number. Not the way I thought it would be. I think it's gone too far. I'm on Green Bay, plus 3. Better coach, low-scoring game. I'll take the Pack.
I'm exactly in unison with you. I think they grind out a victory like the under. I don't see how they can get into a shootout on the road. They're not built that way. Give me the Pack and the under, Donnie.
Let's see if they open up a little bit more with Malik Willis at quarterback. He had a decent start last week, very efficient. I think he's going to have to do that same thing again, but a much better defense he's going to be facing for me. I don't think they win. Will Levis runs it in from 14 yards out. That's the key number to win this game.
You mentioned, by the way, quickly, you mentioned opening up. Last week, Josh Jacobs fumbled inside the 5, and they missed the 45-yard field goal. Green Bay, I know it's 16, they can't move it. They move the football with with Malik Willis
14.
more than people realize. We'll get to your 4 o'clock slate, whip-around style, next.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
It's a new era in CFB to start off this year, put on full display.
My take on this game is simple. I know some people will be upset about it. Good riddance to the Pac-12.
Can you do it in terms of the week to week to week?
I don't see a pathway for this team to miss the college football playoffs.
We want to make sure you have those best bets in the entirety of our betting cards. That was thinking! But he had that program was already going there!
Only on SportsGrid.
The sharpest football contest show in the land, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, focuses on Circa Sports Million, Circa Survivor, and the Westgate Super Contest, handicapping the games and releasing our contest picks every week of the season. With two former Super Contest winners, Brady Cannon and James Salinas, a former NFL player, Mike Pritchard, and over $1 million in contest prize money won combined, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show will have you prepared this season like none other.
All right, we're back with you right here. It is Pro Football Today, 4 o'clock whip-around style. I'll make a quick moment for this. Are you happy to see a little more evenly spread with a loaded 4 p.m. window?
Yeah, come on.
Is this what you always want?
I mean, I'm driving a long way here. You give me more 4 o'clock games, I'm with it at that point.
You like 2 games at 1 o'clock?
Look, one game at 1 o'clock, showcase game, which can never be the Eagles, then we got a perfect world.
Yeah, I like 3 games, 4 games at 4 o'clock.
I think you got 5 today.
Yeah,
I could be wrong, though.
Now, you can't just like 3. 3 is terrible.
What? 3 is good.
You can't even fit the quad box in. There's not even enough room.
I don't know.
Lisi doesn't. He's always out watching the games anyway.
It doesn't matter, right? No sound.
With a UConn game on over in the middle. All right, let's get to the 4 o'clock window. Seattle laying 4.5 to the Miami Dolphins, total 41.5. I expect Devon Achane to have a big game, consistently finds the end zone each of the first 2 games this season, but I didn't see enough value on his numbers. I like the Tyreek Hill 5.5 receptions prop here, plus money, multiple 7-catch games with Skylar Thompson as his quarterback. I think we could see something similar. A number of screens will be going Tyreek's way in this one.
Well, I agree with that. I took over his 63.5. I think Skylar Thompson does get over his total, but I'm a little hesitant backing Miami with the points on the road. I think they could put up points, but I would still lean to Seattle from the side perspective. Donnie, best bet for me is over the total. I think you utilize those playmakers. DK on the other side as well could have a big performance.
I'm interested to see the scripted plays from Miami early in this game to get their quarterback in rhythm. That's what I want to see. And also, I think Devon Achane does score a touchdown today, and it doesn't come in the red zone, which means home run shots.
Points.
All right. Let's keep it moving here. Arizona and Detroit. We've got the Lions laying 3 in the desert here. Big time total. It's 51.5. I think Jahmyr Gibbs has a big day here, finds the end zone in this one. I think we're going to see a lot from these offenses, but when you have a total like this, it comes down to red zone efficiency, an area Detroit has really struggled in, Joe. It would still make me lean under on this big total.
I lean to the over in regards to this matchup, but my best pick in regards to this is Detroit. You know, they lost last week, laying a big number, divisional opponent, go on the road. I just think they're way too much in regards to the interior physical. I know that Arizona shut down the L.A. rushing attack. That was because they jumped out to a huge lead. Look for a heavy dose, to your point, Gibbs and Montgomery in this matchup.
I mean, Dan Campbell is basically crying, saying that he blew that game himself last week. So this team better be on it going back out to Arizona. They're the better football team, don't get me wrong. And I do think Arizona does deserve a little bit of a climb up the ladder from what I thought from them preseason till right now. They're a pretty competitive football team, which is great, which means we probably should get 51.5. if you get into the red zone, as I said 7 times last week, that's an anomaly, scoring 1 touchdown for Detroit, who's more built for red zone touchdowns than Detroit is, with multiple running backs, tight ends, offensive line, and wide receivers. They scored today. Jared Goff has a nice day, but also Montgomery, I think it's in the end zone as well. Amon-Ra St. Brown with legitimate chance. And don't forget James Conner. Dude's been running wild so far. I think he has a nice day.
He's been absolutely awesome. James Conner, maybe the most underrated player in the entire National Football League here. Cowboys, Ravens. I love Dallas in this football game. I think they win this one outright despite being a short home underdog here with Mike McCarthy. Last 3 seasons, nobody better at home coming off of a loss in this building. They have been absolutely dominant in this. I think we could see a pick 6 thrown by Lamar here. I think Dak Prescott has a monster day. Lean over the 47.5 CD eats.
We're seeing it clearly because I like Dallas in a bounce-back spot, but I like CD over the 83.5. I'm not sold on the passing attack for Lamar entering this ball game. I'll give you one prop for Baltimore. I do like Derrick Henry not rushing. Receiving. He had 1 catch for 12 yards. I think he breaks out in the receiving game today, but I'm with Kev. Dallas in the over.
Zay Flowers for me. I do think Derrick Henry scores a touchdown. Ain't no way, as we like to say. This team is going 0-3 on the season. It's going to come at Dallas's expense today. Joe said he's seeing it clearly. I think he needs glasses. Let's get on it. Ravens, baby. Ravens.
Oh, shot him wearing glasses.
Hey, there you go.
Why do you guys? Did you get them okayed?
You know what's funny is I got an old Four Eyes comment the other day.
Wow.
I was like,
Four Eyes?
Wow, that hits.
Oh,
that hits in the 3rd grade class.
Third grade slaps.
Yep.
Listen,
Were you big in 3rd grade, too? Like one of the bigger kids? Were you always one of the bigger kids in the class?
Oh, yeah. Okay. No, but I held off on glasses for a long time because I was worried about
I was
Four
blind,
Eyes
too,
stuff.
for a long time, too.
Yeah. But no, I can. We see clearly now. Don't worry. Dallas is the side. It's all right. Last 4 o'clock game here. Rams-Niners, 6.5-point number. 44.5 listed total. What do you like here, Lisi?
I'm going to take the points with the Rams. I know it sounds crazy. They're beat up on both sides of the football, but I think McVay in this spot as an underdog coming off just a blowout loss bounces back somehow, some way. Divisional opponent, again, you're going to get at least the Rams' best effort in terms of the players that they do roll out there.
I was pulling up to the gas station, filling up on diesel last week with the Chargers. Today I'm going to flip it over, and that's going to be the San Francisco 49ers. They're going to be running that football right down the field with Mason. If I'm thinking the 49ers win, it's obviously they cover. I don't really love the 44.5, but Mason should go over his number on the ground and also score a touchdown for me today.
All right, and then for me, I think Mason does go off. I've flipped a lot on this game. I really have. That's the issue with it. So I at 7.5, I really did like the Rams, thinking it was just too much disrespect. But now that we're underneath the touchdown, and I know that's because the Niners have lost more, but I think that their ground game is the most trustworthy aspect of this matchup. It'll allow them, I think, to get up 7 and potentially keep them at arm's length. It's really beat me up, this one here. I lean towards the over. I feel like there are props, but there's even a part of me, and this is why I asked you this earlier, Donnie. Like, are we just too comfortable? Like, Jordan Mason's going to go 20 carries, 100 yards, and a score. Like, we're saying that so comfortably about a guy that we weren't expecting to play any football this year.
No, you're right. And also, it's the perfect storm in this game. You figure if you're the 49ers, how do you lose this game? Let Brock Purdy throw 40-plus times and turn it over 3 times. Right. You keep them in. The one thing I do think is the positive in this game, it's the 49ers defense. I don't see any positives for the Rams at all.
Yeah, who's going to step up? DeMarcus Robinson, Tutu Atwell, Blake Corum maybe? I don't know. I had to throw that in. Had it. Big day.
I mean,
2 touchdowns.
Derrick Henry in the air
2
today.
touchdowns plus.
RB1. Derrick Henry in the air. Blake Corum through the air. Anyone else? No, I'm just curious. Just anyone else for the
no H-N.
Through the air.
Tyreek through the air.
Short to intermediate or down the field?
Down the field.
Shots.
80 plus. Take his longest touchdown.
Longest reception?
Longest reception.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I said it. Not you. Me.
Certainly not me. No, certainly
I'll stand behind it.
No, we're setting a spread. Snap count versus receptions. Blake Corum, I like me. Sunday Night Football, best bets, anytime touchdown scores. We get out of here next.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
It's a new era in CFB to start off this year, put on full display.
My take on this game is simple. I know some people will be upset about it. Good riddance to the Pac-12.
Can you do it in terms of a week to week to week?
I don't see a pathway for this team to miss the college football playoffs.
We want to make sure you have those best bets in the entirety of our betting cards. That was thinking! But he had that program was already going there!
Only on SportsGrid.
The sharpest football contest show in the land, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, focuses on Circa Sports Million, Circa Survivor, and the Westgate Super Contest, handicapping the games and releasing our contest picks every week of the season. With two former Super Contest winners, Brady Cannon and James Salinas, a former NFL player, Mike Pritchard, and over $1 million in contest prize money won combined, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show will have you prepared this season like none other.
Pro Football Today. Kevin Walsh, Donnie Rightside, Joe Lisi. We're getting out of here. Then we're getting into the mix, baby. 1 o'clock. Cannot wait. We will be waiting all day, though, for Sunday night. How about that?
Wow.
Falcons, Chiefs. If you guys are involved in this game, how so? I'll start with you,
Total,
Joe.
46.5. I think both offenses eat through the air. Kirk Cousins, we saw the last-minute drive. Look for Pat Mahomes to step up. Minus Isaiah Pacheco, it's through the passing attack. And I told you, 38-11 in his career on the road or on a neutral field.
I probably trust Kansas State a little bit more to lay the 3 and win that one, but also the fact of the matter, that 46.5. I'm going under. I just don't see explosive plays. I just don't see it.
Patrick Mahomes over 18.5 rushing yards. Hit this in 11 of 16 last year regular season. Hit it last week going up against the Cincinnati Bengals without Pacheco. More opportunities for Mahomes to drop back, which means to scramble, alter this even as high as 50-plus yards. Let's get to some best bets, fellas.
Yeah.
My, oh, my. And, Lisi, I think it's right you start us off.
Well, I should be 2-0. I should have had that total. 6 opportunities for Washington.
You should have known the kicker was hurt. Come on now.
Commanders, Giants.
No, Jaden Daniels looks like a star. 226. Oh, please, I should have had that in the third quarter. Please, we're going to go to Pittsburgh. Ugly game. Justin Herbert's banged up ankle, 181 passing yards. Give me the total. Somehow, some way, we get through this. I think Justin Fields breaks out, goes through the passing attack. Donnie thinks I'm nuts. Total contrarian play, but I altered this as high as 43.5. I think we will see points. Pittsburgh will push tempo. The over of the day, boys.
19-17, you'll take it, which is crazy. That's an over. 19-17 is an over in this game.
Sounds like a lot is what I
It sounds like a tough ass.
It's rooting against you.
It does.
I'm not.
I'm not rooting against you.
You are.
No.
It's okay. You won and I said it. I know.
No. I'm not on the under. I want you to keep betting totals. I don't need any best bet sides out of you.
And I did that for you. I did that for you. Yeah.
Wow.
I tried to do it for you. Last year, you sunk your season on the best bets, switching off and burying the birds. It was unbelievable.
He didn't alt. That's right. He didn't alt this one.
Well, I should have.
Oh, you did in your personal life.
40.
I'll be honest. Here's you alting up. When you said I altered it high as 43.5, I was underwhelmed. I expected higher. That's all.
I have a 46.5.
Yeah, all right. So why are you
slow
treating
playing
us like the bagel guy?
exactly.
You're not even giving us the full.
By the way, we're in the best bet segment right now, and I asked Joe 2 weeks ago studio for his best bet so a teammate could cheer it on. I got 2 random plays back, and then he told me his best bet later. So that's the camaraderie we have on the show right now.
I thought he was doing it.
It's just disrespectful.
He loves to stir the pot.
No, just disrespectful right there. They treat me like
Lisi,
a wheel.
Cover your ears. Donnie's going to give his real best bet. He doesn't want you to know. Go ahead, Donnie.
Best bet, C.J. Stroud over 1.5 touchdown passes at a -125 price. They're in a dome. Should be comfortability there. I think we get points into the 40s. And if you ask me right now, you're going to get 3 touchdowns out of Houston with their third-string running back. 2 of these got to be in the air. Stephon Diggs returns home. He hits pay dirt. And also, Nico on the outside gets one as well. I'm getting 2 touchdowns today in the dome.
At some point, that kid's got to break through as well, even if I am on Stephon Diggs. All right, my best bet. Most unbiased man history of sports media. He's done it again. The Dallas Cowboys +1.5. They win this game, but I will take the 1.5 points because Harbaugh likes to go for 2, and I don't want to get burned if he decides to do just that. Dak Prescott today will go big time through the air. Minshew lit it up, and we almost saw 300 passing yards from Pat Mahomes in week number 1. Off of a loss, Mike McCarthy has been dominant at home in Dallas. One year they lost outright to Teddy Bridgewater. The next week it was 43-3 to Atlanta. They lost an opening game to Tom in Tampa. The next week Cooper Rush was beating Joe Burrow in this building. It does not matter. Dallas 21-5 straight up in this building. Last 3 seasons it goes to 22-5 against the Baltimore Ravens, sending them down to 0-3. Touchdowns before we get out of here.
Yes, Brock Bowers plus 230, 98
receivers. 330, no?
I saw it just now, down to 230. 98 yards last week. Expect them to. And Tyreek Hill at plus 180 is just
giving out 2.
Fast and
exactly.
Loose.
Just let it go out there.
Plus 180. I mean, for Hill today.
Okay.
Smoked J.K. Dobbins last week with my favorite touchdown. Today I'm going to go running back again with Saquon Barkley. -155 price. Some booster out there. You get around plus money. Make it happen.
All of a sudden boosted right side back.
I love it.
Absolutely.
Never been
loving
better.
it. Jameer Gibbs for me, -120. Did not find the end zone last week. That Arizona defense still vulnerable. Kyron found the end zone despite that being the only Rams touchdown. Josh Allen ran into essentially the goal line back for that football team. I know you think it's Monty. We saw Gibbs get goal line work in week number 1. He gets in the end zone here in the desert against the Cardinals. Take advantage of that big time total. Joe Lisi, Donnie Rightside, Kevin Walsh. What a Sunday it is gearing up to be. And if you can't get enough of us, we get a double header tomorrow that we are in studio for all of those 2 games. We'll see you then. Best of luck with the bets.
Anyone that's
do we have a fantasy star on our hands here, George? Here is the question with Jaden Daniels of the Washington Commanders. A lot of folks went into the fantasy season saying, hey, look, maybe this isn't Anthony Richardson, but it could be the next best thing. I'm here to tell you, I don't know. I'm sort of feeling like Daniels could be better than Anthony Richardson.
I don't know if I'm going to go there yet, all right? But I think he's in the conversation, yeah. What did we hear at draft time? A lot of people wanted a quarterback who could move, right? You don't want the guy who's going to take 5-7 steps and throw the football anymore because you want that additional rushing yards. You know, you get 50, 60 yards, that's a touchdown, right? That's why Josh Allen is so valuable. Lamar Jackson is so valuable, right? You go up and down. Jalen Hurts. You go up and down here. I think Daniels is going to be a good quarterback. I think Washington got their guy, and he can throw the football too. We know McLaurin's a really good wide receiver. It may not be much else there. We'll see what McCaffrey can be. Luke McCaffrey can be there in time. But, you know, I do have hope for him. I think at season's end, he's going to be a quarterback 1. It may be a low-end quarterback 1, but a quarterback 1 nonetheless.
Yeah, I was really impressed watching him in that game. All right, now Anthony Richardson, look, he's going to have a big year. He's going to have a big fantasy year. There's no question about it. I don't know about the long-term viability here. And look, give him credit. He hung in there with the Houston Texans. My fear for him, George, is that when you go back and you watch film, if you protect the deep ball against Richardson, he could hurt you with his legs. And that may be where all of his fantasy value is coming from. I cannot see him throwing 2 70-yard bombs like he did again.
That should come in time, right? Practice time. I think he will get better here. I think Richardson's going to be fine. Does need to learn how to avoid hits. All right. Once again, remember that hit from Tua last night? He initiated it. Slide. The rules are made for you not to get hit. take advantage of them.